Hello and welcome to the Blue Podcast Network. This is The Gold Show, episode number 4, the Premier League show. I'm here with Henry and Ronnie, and also Jamie, who's making his first appearance on The Gold Show this season.
Yeah,
how you doing?
This is strange. I was on it once last year, and then once this year, so just
I was going to say, why are you here?
Kian's not.
Are we that desperate?
Kian's not here.
Wow.
You know
We're
what? He's
not
been
even a minute in. We're not even...
Mate, Purple Show, you're going to get roasted, trust me. I'm coming at United as well, so I'm coming at you directly as well.
I always do, so it's fine. Come at me, bro.
Let's get straight into it then. And we're going to start off with Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. What a controversial game that was. The officiating decisions totally stole the show.
Yeah.
Josh King, first professional goal, ruled out. What are we saying about that?
I mean, for a man who's been around the Premier League for so long, I'm surprised this is his first goal. I would have sworn... Yeah, we're not going to make that joke. I am sick to death of referees. I'm sick to death of talking about them and their dodgy decisions. They're not the stars of the show. They are here to support the running of the game, and that is it. And I don't... It annoys me. It annoys the crap out of me.
I think the officiating for the whole game was awful. Fulham were completely robbed in that game. I'm saying it now. Like, the foul is not a foul. There's no intention to stamp on the player. If you look at, is it Chalobah puts his foot into Muniz's path. Don't know what you're expecting him to do there. And then, and I don't know why VAR kind of got involved. It looks bad in real time. You slow it down, it's clearly not a foul. Then a penalty as well was just complete chaos. There was a foul, there was the handball, Jean Pedro handballed it. And I think, is this 3 games Chelsea have played, and in all 3 games the other team has had a disallowed goal?
Potentially.
Because
I'm trying to think.
They drew 0-0 with Palace, and the free kick was disallowed.
Did they have
West Ham has a disallowed goal at 1-1.
Right.
And then there was the Fulham goal here. Yeah. Everything seems to be going in Chelsea's favour at the moment, which is, people argued it was with Liverpool last year.
Right.
Same with Chelsea this year. It's not good for standard of refereeing.
No.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah. They've obviously spent their hotel money on an extra player, an extra person on the field, 12th man. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Where is your head at with these decisions, Ronnie? I want to know your thoughts on it.
We've had a month now, I think, of not great officiating, which is a very poor start. And if it continues, Howard Webb's going to be in trouble, I think. But to be fair, at this point, even Dermot Gallagher on Sky said it was the wrong decision, and that is... that's a sign.
Yeah, he's very much so, isn't he? Always backing the referees, very protective. But if he is saying that is the wrong decision, then surely it is the wrong decision.
Then you've made a mistake.
Yeah.
A massive mistake.
It's too late. Too little, too late.
No, exactly.
Everything's now, I'm seeing on social media, everything's coming out going, literally everybody is saying it's not a foul.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the course of the game. Fulham go up 1-0 in that game, completely changes the rest of the game. I think it's another one of those situations where, as I say, it's too little, too late, and it does ruin the game. And I think, as you said before, look, we've had a month of football and we've already had so many bad decisions.
Yeah.
If the rest of the season's like that, what's the point in playing the rest of the season?
Yeah, very true.
It kind of just voids the whole season. Whereas you look at Europe, VAR seems to work perfectly fine. Champions League, they seem to pretty much make the right decisions pretty much every time. It just seems like the Premier League don't know what they're doing.
Have we got the worst referees in the world?
I would argue and say yes.
Really,
I would argue and say yes.
if we're being
not in the world.
but in the top 5 leagues.
Yeah, I would say in Europe, in terms of the way VAR is used, I would say it's the way. I wouldn't say referees are the worst in the world because it does come down to VAR.
Yeah, there is the
but I think VAR is used in the worst way.
I'll give them though that I think they've fixed offsides. I think offsides is a lot more efficient.
It seems clear.
They just drop the ball and everything else.
Yeah, but that's because they have sort of semi-automated, so it's not even like it's VAR doing the job. It's just they've given the technology that they have.
It's not the technology that's the problem; it's the people.
That's what I mean.
They're all incompetent.
I think people need to be, I wouldn't say incompetent, but I think they need to be trained in a better way and understand the system
and
more.
I've seen it top to bottom. So I've seen it in a National League North game recently. dodgy penalty given and a dodgy red card, and I'm like, yeah, that's.
But that's kind of judgment of error, though. That's different because that's not having the technology to look at it.
Exactly.
Anybody who's played football would look at that situation at Fulham and go, "That's not a foul."
Yeah.
Whereas the referees who don't normally have footballing experience will look at that and go, by the letter of the law, you're going to give it as a foul. Because you stop it when the guy's stamped on Chalobah, it looks like a foul.
Yeah.
But as I said, anyone who's played football will know that in that motion, I don't physically know what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as I said, it's ruined it.
No, No, I'm in agreement with the fact that the goal should not have been ruled out. But I do feel really sorry for Fulham because this isn't the first game where they've had decisions this season. Brighton, potentially they should have had a penalty.
Yeah.
Man United game, Man United get a penalty and then Fulham don't get a penalty down the other end.
That's the clearest one for me.
They could have potentially had about 6-7 points to start the season, and they're currently on 2, which is, quite harsh on them.
Yeah.
I mean, moving on from that, Liam Delap came off with a hamstring injury, and of course, that meant that
Huge knock-on effect.
It didn't seem
Whole saga.
It didn't seem like Nicholas Jackson was going to go to Bayern. Then he eventually went to Bayern,
Yeah.
and Mark Yu
Gu's come back.
got recalled
After
from
what, 2
Sunderland.
weeks?
Yeah. Like he played 3 games, I think, in all competitions, scoring a goal in the Carabao Cup. But I think that is that's the harsh reality of being a football player.
The knock on for Sunderland, they've gone and signed Robbie, who I'd say is better than him
More
in terms
experience.
of also having like buying a player instead of a loan is better. I think the issue I've got is I think Jackson's been treated so unfairly by Chelsea. The fact that they said they don't want him, then tried to get rid of him, ended up loaning him out, then saying he needs to come back. I feel like a lot of people come out and said, because there was a whole thing of his agent going, he's not going back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
A lot of people criticised him for that. I think that's the right thing to do. If you're ostracised from a club and they don't want you, you get loaned out.
Yeah.
Just because they've got an issue doesn't mean you should suddenly have to go back to them. I think Jackson's better off taking the loan move and leaving.
I won't go into my opinions on Jackson as a football player, but I will go into my opinions on Chelsea as a football club in this state, and that's a poor way of handling it.
Yeah.
If you'd agree to transfer like that, you got to just let it go.
Yeah, you've got to complete it pretty much.
Exactly.
You said to the player you don't want him. Suddenly you've got an injury. I understand you've got players you want to come back.
Yeah.
But you can't just try and cancel the deal for someone you've literally agreed to deal with in the morning.
Yeah.
There was like 6 hours between Jackson's going to Bayern Munich and then suddenly, no, we're having you back. The guy was already in Germany.
I know.
You can't just say, oh, you're getting on a plane coming back. He has the
Sorry,
right to
mate.
go, no, get out of here.
Exactly.
But then they have made like 70 million from this transfer.
Yes,
Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if they do,
But
if he does end up joining them on a permanent basis,
I
it will
believe
be
it's
a
an
lot of
obligation,
money.
isn't it? I thought it was an obligation in the end.
No, he's got to do something. I can't remember what it was.
It's to do with either the amount of goals or get appearances, something like that. What I would say is Chelsea are good at selling players.
Yes,
as
they
much as
are
I
unbelievable
think.
selling players because they've got, they have a massive amount of players in their squad, so they're able to go ahead and sell players, but then they're also able to recruit quite well, like a lot of young talented players. So at the end of the day, they're going to make a profit. I think even like Renato Vega, he left the football club this summer. They bought him for about 12 million, I want to say, and then they sold him for like
40, 30,
yeah,
40?
something like that. So
What I would say is over the past 3 years, they have actually made a massive loss on players they've bought. In terms of, it looks good now, looking at, Tyreek George has gone for 20, Vega's gone for 40. But if you look at how much they've actually spent in
Tyreek
terms
George
of...
has not gone for anything. He's still at Chelsea.
He's on loan, but
He's
there's...
not on loan. He is still at Chelsea.
yeah,
Is he not?
I think the deal fell through.
The deal fell through. He's still,
fair enough.
And he's
Anyway,
been,
yeah.
and he's been registered in their Champions League squad.
Yeah, but
they're
like,
gonna play him.
for example, having someone like him going for that much, I feel like people kind of, Chelsea sell a lot of players, but people forget that they do also spend massively.
Yeah,
They spent
do,
60 million on Jean Pedro, brought in Delap. Like, I feel like a lot of people
say
say
that £60 million deal for João Pedro is a fantastic one, and we'll touch on it in a second how
Yeah.
good he is. But I'm in love with this man.
No, I completely agree. I think he's a brilliant player,
Yeah.
but I do think just because Chelsea sell a lot of players for quite high, people do forget that they also bring in a massive amount of players on
of
high
course.
transfers as well.
That's the way that their business is run, and that's the way it works. I'd like to keep talking about Chelsea, but we've spoken about them for quite some time, so we're going to move on. Wolves 2, Everton 3 at Molineux, 5-goal thriller. Jack Grealish, 2 assists again, 4 assists in 2 Premier League matches for that man. He's on fire at the minute.
I don't know where to start. Do I start on how good Everton are or how bad Wolves are.
Oh, of course.
Where do I begin?
I feel like this is a weekly occurrence. Wolves bottom of the table.
Exactly. That is a weekly occurrence.
They are favourites to go down, to be fair. For me,
Thank
I'm
you.
saying they are one of
Thank
the favourites
you.
to
You
go
think
down.
so? Yeah.
They haven't really strengthened. They've gotten rid of Cunha. They haven't looked good.
Yeah.
The only team they managed to beat was West Ham in the Carabao Cup after a pretty poor performance from both teams anyway. I think, look, I've always said that Grealish was better leaving City. I always thought he'd go back to Aston Villa. I think it would have been a good transfer. But to be fair, he's gone to Everton and I think he fits in perfectly with the way they play.
Yeah.
He looks good. He looks comfortable.
He's
and
the
he's playing
talisman
football.
again. He is the main man, and that is he is a star player. He's a quality player, and he is a ego in a way.
Yeah.
Pep doesn't like that. Pep needs his players to be system players and to work for the greater goal. That's why he likes players like Rodrigo and Bernardo Silva, because they will just do whatever he says. And players like Julian Alvarez didn't fit in, got rid of. Grealish didn't play because he's an ego. He is a star. He wants to do his own thing, and he doesn't like that. He's back at Everton. He can thrive. He's given him the freedom to roam and do what he wants, and he's just creating everything.
Yeah. No, he's been superb, Grealish, so far, we have to say. Dewsbury Hall as well, goal and assist for him too.
My fantasy team, come on.
We'll get on to that later on, but no, that's good for him. Everton, 6 points out of a possible 9 so far this season. Where do you reckon they can end up finishing?
I think I've got to hold my hands up here and say I effed up. I think I put them too low.
Where'd you put them?
It was bottom half, at least. In the more towards the relegation zone, I think.
really?
It was.
I think they're going to be kind of almost like Palace, just slap middle.
Yeah.
Decent. I don't think they're going to push for Europe.
Right.
I think they're so far, they look fairly safe from relegation.
Yeah.
I think somewhere between, maybe 9th or 8th to kind of 11th, 12th, kind of
Right,
between
around
that
that
bracket,
position.
just mid-table.
Yeah.
As I said, I can't see them pushing on to really challenge for Europe. If they continue like this, but as I said, only 3 games in, it's quite hard to judge.
It's a long way to go.
But they're not, I wouldn't say they're kind of, the strongest team. I don't think they're as good as, was it Nottingham last year?
Yeah,
when they pushed on for Europe.
Yeah.
But I think they're fairly clear. In how bad other teams have looked, I think they're clear of relegation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think their starting 11's really strong, but I also think they're the most fragile team in the league. Like their squad depth's quite slim. It's very slim. Because even think about last week, James Garner had to play left back.
Yeah.
There's not much cover. I know they had Asnu, but he's injured at the moment.
Yeah.
Who is their left back cover?
He's playing for
that
the
they signed.
under-21s. He played for a pretty youth game.
Mikalenko
But it's
was
because
back,
he's
actually.
trying to get fitness.
Yeah, I
back,
was going to
that's why.
say. Yeah, Mikalenko should be back in that.
Yeah, but throughout the season, they're going to get injured. It's inevitable. So say you lose Iliman and Jack Grealish for a month, that'll harm them more than other teams would if they lost their better players.
Yeah.
So I had them 12th or 13th. I think that's where they'll probably finish.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fairly
That's
mid-table
fair.
then. Yeah.
No, but they've had a wonderful start. As for Wolves, bottom of the table, 0 wins from 3. Is it the only team, I believe, who haven't picked up a single point so far?
Yep.
I wouldn't say they've had the
9 goals conceded.
most difficult start. Who do they have?
They had City
at home,
first.
Bournemouth away, Everton at home.
I'd say that's quite hard.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not easy, don't get me wrong.
it's
For
not
a team
easy,
that
but-
sold their best players,
Yeah.
it's not easy.
I say this with the most respect possible. Every game is a hard game for Wolves. Because they are the team with the least quality in the league, with the only exception being maybe Burnley.
The only one you should be getting points from in that fixture list is Everton.
Yeah,
Because
realistically.
Bournemouth away have been very good the last year. Last year,
Bournemouth are a top half team.
against big 6 sides, they were very impressive.
Yeah.
They were nearly
They're
unbeaten,
a
I
good
think.
I think,
They
yeah.
were nearly unbeaten.
Yeah, they are a good team.
What I would say is, just the stats on that game, though, if you look at it, Wolves dominated possession, had more shots, did end up having... They had a fewer expected goals,
Right.
but not by much.
Yeah.
But this is the issue with them is they've gotten rid of a striker, haven't really brought anyone in. They have possession. They kind of control through midfield. There's nothing up front. That's the problem I have with them. There's no
I think
outlet.
there is up front. I just think there's no creation of chances. They have the least XG so far in the league. Only 3 games, so you can't really judge.
Yeah.
But there's
it's
no
funny.
creation. There's
But
no creation.
You see them as the team with the worst creation in the league. Guess which team is the highest creation in the league? And do you see where the creation has gone? Do you see what's happened? It's gone from Wolves to Man United and Spencer Cunha.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what I've been saying.
But
As soon as he leaves, they are going to fold.
There's still
This is
no
what's gonna
outlet,
happen.
though.
I
This
wouldn't
is the
call
thing.
that a link for Man United being
Exactly.
better. I'd call that a link for Wolves being worse.
Yeah, that was the link I was playing, to be
But
fair.
I think
but also Will.
This is the thing. They got rid of Cunha and then brought in Arias, who's a good player, but he is the creative player that they need. but then they needed to bring in someone who can actually put the chances away. Because they're kind of.
I don't rate Strand Larsen. I really don't.
This is the thing. They're using Arias from Fluminense as a player to score the goals. But if you look at the way he played in Brazil, was chance creation.
Yeah.
And Stan Larsen's a decent player, but I think you need a better striker. Or if he's not on his day, you need somebody else. Have they even got another striker? Because
they signed a 6'6" striker. I can't remember. It's a longer name.
Kajlak.
No.
Because
Pelagic, he's already been there. Bosnian striker. They signed a new striker. I think he's Belgian league.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah. I think he might be from Genk.
When he played up front, he's a winger.
Regen, essentially.
Yeah, they've got Frankie Chan as well.
He's a winger, though. He's not exactly a striker. I know he scored against Everton, but you can tell he likes to play out wide.
We've already spoken about Manchester United a little bit. We might as well just segue our way into talking about United. 3-2 at home against Burnley. 97th minute winner from Bruno Fernandes.
You should not be happy with that.
Exactly.
You should not be happy with that.
I'm not happy, but I am relieved because it's obviously broken the duck. Finally started scoring some goals, because I think before that, the only goals we'd had are own goals. Which is really annoying. Come on, please. I need some fancy points. Come on, guys. What to say about this game? I'm sick and tired of all this shite, but I feel like the end is in sight.
I don't think Man United look good at all.
What, you think Amorim's going to get sacked?
No. I mean more that Onana's going to get dropped. And
right. Well, yeah, they brought
because
the
we brought in Sen
in.
Lammers, who cannot be worse than those two idiots. He dropped. Right, we played Grimsby. We lost to Grimsby in the cup. It's the most disgraceful thing that's ever happened. He dropped the ball in his own net 4 fucking times during his penalties. 4 times he dropped the ball in his own net. Useless.
I think the problem with Man United is the defence. I'm putting it out there now.
Oh my god.
I think Man United's defence doesn't look good. I think they look shaky. I'll be completely honest with you.
I cannot agree with that.
That's fine. I didn't ask you to agree. I think going forward, you've got a good chance creation. You're not scoring enough.
Yeah.
I think you were lucky to get a penalty in the last minute, because to be honest with you, I think Burnley probably deserved to get a point out of that game.
Yeah.
Man United didn't look good, and as I said, it is defensively. I think Man United. The issue I have is Bruno Fernandes, fine centre midfielder. Ugarte can't play centre mid, and Mainu, I don't rate him that much, but the only player who can play that centre mid role that Amorim is playing in the system is Mainu, who he wants to have instead of Fernandes when he plays.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense, because Ugarte gives you defensive coverage because he's a defensive midfielder. He's not a box-to-box. So by playing him, you're losing out on attacking threat, and also he's going to drop back, but it doesn't help the defence because then you just pack too many back. So you're allowing teams to attack you, and that's what Burnley did. They just attacked, and I think it should have been a draw. You got lucky.
Let me comment on this. First of all, our defence is fine. Our back three is solid. I like all 3 of those players, and we've still got Martinez.
Name your starting back 3. Just let me know.
What I'd prefer?
Just what
The one against Burnley.
What is your starting back 3?
It's Yoro, Delict, and who was the third one?
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw's not a centre back. Delict is so 50-50,
But we
and
have
Yoro's inexperienced in the
Aiden
Premier League.
and Martinez to come back in at that.
Aiden Heaven's 18 years old.
He's been one of our best players this season so far, and Yoro looks good, if a little bit raw. Can still come back, and we've got Mascherano to come back in as cover as well. Fine.
Right.
That kind of core of centre backs, other than Luke Shaw,
Yeah.
is solid. It's absolutely fine.
I wouldn't say Aiden Heaven's solid. He's 18, so not got any Premier League experience pretty much, other than the 2 games he played for you.
He played more than 2 games. Every time I've seen him play so far, he's looked comfortable, stepped up to the level completely, and I've been really impressed.
Right.
I won't say any more on him. The issue lies in central midfield and a little bit of wing back.
Yeah.
So,
You need
first
to
of
find a
all,
partner, don't you, for Fernandes?
I
think
thought
that's a big thing.
So I thought we could play Bruno and somebody in midfield. It clearly is not working.
Bruno in central midfield doesn't work.
No, you don't think so?
He hasn't got the positioning that I thought he did.
The
I thought
balance
he was
is
a bit
poor.
more
He
clever.
hasn't got the work rate. He doesn't track back, and that's what I mean.
My biggest problem is Man United in transition from going into attack. Bruno will get up into higher spaces. Ugarte, as you said, he can play centre mid. I disagree. I think he can play centre mid CDM, but you don't need you need a 6 there. You need a holder.
Right,
that's
if you're going to play
You don't
Bruno
need a
there.
DM.
Only if you're going to play Bruno there. If you're not going to play Bruno there, you can play Ugarte. That's fine, and you can play an 8 with him. You can play Ugarte and Mainu there.
I think that's a lot more
It's a
serviceable.
temporary
You
solution,
think that's
but
a better
that's better.
combination?
Yes,
Yeah,
better
I
combination.
disagree.
No, obviously Bruno's a better player. No argument about it.
I know that,
But,
yeah.
But where Man United got caught out is in transition, and Burnley caught them twice and scored 2 goals from it.
Yeah.
and it's come. it's
Look,
in transition, they're poor for me.
if you look at when they played Arsenal, if you look at the midfield, hardly touched the ball because they were going from defence to attack, which worked. The issue is when you try and play through the middle, as you said,
it's
Bruno
going from
Fernandes
attack
will
to
put-
defence. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think the problem I have is, look, I feel like you would be better off trying to play Mbeumo out wide as kind of the right mid or wing back, playing Fernandes further forward, and then putting Mainu and Ugarte in midfield, or Casemiro and Mainu.
I think they need a new midfielder. That is just why.
Mainu has to play in midfield. That's the thing.
Yeah, Mainu was a central midfield. I don't know why I played him in the 10 last season. I completely agree. That's what I would do if I were Amorim right now and with the current squad. Dallo has to disappear. Great right back. Terrible right wing back. Needs to be sold.
I think Dorgu's 50-50 as well. He's good defensively. He's bad going forward.
Needs more experienced name
Yeah.
there, in my opinion. We need a new...
Right.
we need more current right wing back.
I think Yorahata would have been a perfect player to cover that left side.
Yeah.
And centre back, because realistically,
Yeah, well, he's one of the many.
the other
players
thing
for
is
Chelsea.
Luke Shaw's not a centre back.
No, I like him less centre back.
I don't mind him. He can cover there. I'd rather have Martinez. I'd rather have Heaven.
You need,
I was gonna say-
you'd rather Lissandro over Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Surely.
I'm
It's just injury
surprised.
prone.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I don't know. No, I would have.
Yeah, come on.
It's
Absolutely.
close. It's close. So for me, I'm surprised that Ubaid does not work in the system, given he played it at Sporting under
Yeah.
Amorim before. I'm surprised. Obviously, it's not.
But he
working,
had Hjulmand.
Exactly.
but I still think it's not working.
Right.
So maybe I was wrong about Ugarte. Maybe it can work. Maybe I was wrong.
It's just one of those transfers that doesn't really work out for a system.
It is
That
what it is,
happens.
it happens.
Do you know what I mean?
Bruno needs to get pushed forward. I completely agree.
Yeah.
We need to find a central midfielder to. Mainly's going to have to start, and then we're going to have to buy somebody who's more box to box.
And play your striker, please, for
And
goodness sake.
actually, yeah.
80 million on a striker you don't
What
play.
I've heard,
Yeah.
Šeško-
Start the man.
Sesko's
Pay the
not
money.
fit, is from what I've heard. He didn't have a preseason, so he doesn't want
Right.
to start him straight away. He should be back after the international break. If he doesn't start, I'm.
Well,
disgrace.
he
He
surely
needs
will.
to start because these chances we're creating are great. We need someone to finish them.
Yeah.
And
I've got two more notes. Two more notes. I think at some point in the season, your front three will be Fernandes, Cunha, and Burmo. At some point, whether it works or not, I don't know. But I think that will happen because they'll have a dilemma with Bruno that they've got to make, whether to drop him or push him forward, and they'll try it. And if it doesn't work, they'll drop him back. Second thing is, I feel incredibly sorry for Mainu because I think Amorim may have cost him an England spot.
Yeah.
But this-
I think he should have gone
There's
out on
plenty of
loan.
time
He
till
wanted a
World
loan.
Cup.
He should have gone
Am I
out.
the only one that doesn't rate Kobbie Mainu to the degree that
I've said-
everyone
I've-
else
I've- no,
does?
I've said the
I
same.
don't think he should be called up for England as of right now at all. But the fact that he can't leave on loan doesn't give him a chance to prove himself.
Right.
No,
for
I've
sure.
I've said
I
the
get
same
that.
thing. I don't rate him that much. I think he's very overhyped.
I get why he's not in the team necessarily.
Yeah.
I do. I understand.
Last thing as well, in an England squad, would you rather have Jordan Henderson or Kobbie Mainu?
Kobe Mainu.
Henderson with experience.
There.
I'll be completely honest with you.
Take him as a coach. Take
This
him
is
as a
what I
coach.
mean.
Take
This is what I
him-
mean.
You're picking
If
someone
he's
who's
purely
a
off for a morale and an experience, put him as a coach.
I'd
What
take
is the
James
point?
Garner over.
What is the
not.
point in having him
Right,
as a
anyway.
personality? If he's a personality, coach. What's the point?
Anyway.
Sorry, I
You're
would
wasting
take
the
James
spot.
Garner over Kobe
Right.
Mainu at the moment.
Well, James Garner, I've always rated James Garner. I think he's
Right.
definitely deserving of an
We
England
need to move on anyway. We could talk
Yeah.
about this forever. We're going to move on to Tottenham. Because unfortunately,
don't need to do that.
got their first defeat of the season.
Yeah.
1-0 loss at home against Bournemouth. It's been such a good start
Yeah.
for you guys opening 2 games. What went wrong?
I think people went. Obviously, we're going to beat City because that's just like not obviously, but like it's a thing. It is a thing.
Yeah, it
It's a thing.
happens.
It does happen a lot.
But another thing is Spurs fans tend to get overexcited when we have a good run.
Yeah.
And we fell stout at our own ground, which is not great. But I would say Bournemouth were incredibly impressive. I thought their
Yeah.
press was amazing.
Yeah.
Their press was very strong, and it did surprise me. It was very good. We actually didn't have a shot on target until the 60th minute, which was
That's
So-
the issue.
yeah, that's the issue.
So I have
think
a
Xavi
question.
Simmons-
I
I
have
have
a
a
problem.
question-
I had a problem
question
with the starting
before-
lineup. I think that was wrong. We
Can I-
played the same team.
Can I
against
ask a
City.
question before you carry on? Who was your attacking line for this game?
Same City, Richarlison, Johnson, and Kudus. My problem in that, okay, Richarlison had a bad game,
Yeah.
but my problem wasn't Richarlison starting because Solanke's injured, so that's just a given anyway.
Yeah.
My problem was Johnson because Johnson's good in games where he has to find spaces in the box and score, like
Yeah.
similar to like a Raheem Sterling. That's why he can play on the left or the right because it's not to do with him on the ball, it's to do with him off the ball. But I've lost my train of thought.
So does the incoming of
Johnson is my key problem in that front three.
Right.
I think Xavi
I think
Simmons
he should
solves
have
it.
been
though.
dropped.
does Xavi Simmons solve it, and does
He wouldn't be in that front
Randall
three.
Kolo Muani solve it as well?
Colin Moani's a temporary thing, but I also think there's a chance he plays over Richarlison anyway and not play on the left. But I would rather it be Colin Moani, Richarlison, and Kudus to begin with. But if Richarlison continues to have poor performances, then eventually just put Colin Moani out front and try Odebear or Tell. Odebear and Tell haven't really had a run of games yet properly, and they both have sparks. Like, I think Odebear more than Tell, to be honest. Tell's got the quality. He had a like half chance on the volley against Bournemouth, and it almost went in. If that went in, oh my god, the roof would have fell off. That was an unbelievable opportunity.
I think Javi Simmons solves your attacking midfield position.
The creativity.
That's what I mean. I think what he does well is he's good at getting into the box when necessary, but also staying on the edge. Because a lot of the time when the ball goes into the box, it does come out on the edge, and it seemed like, at least against Bournemouth, there was nobody there. It was always ball coming out and being met by a Bournemouth player.
Is there a world where Javi Simmons plays on the left and Kudus plays on the right?
I think that will happen when Maddison and Kulusevski come back. I don't think it's going to happen now.
Nah, he's straight in the 10.
He's going
I was going to say, he is your 10. That's why you signed
when
him.
Maddison and Kulusevski comes back, they'll probably be in the 10. He'll pull out left.
I mean, Javi Simmons could even play up front, to be honest. Like, he could play up front as almost kind of false nine, dropping back, creating space
if Tottenham wanted to do a two-striker formation, as a second
but also
striker.
him and Kudus could interchange up front as a false nine, because they both bring different things.
Or you play a midfield three of, including two attacking midfielders, and do what Bayer Leverkusen did a few years ago, where they did two floating gates, the one drops, one pushes.
I don't know if they're going to...
Like with Brandt and Havertz.
I think the centre mid, I think you're pretty sorted. I think it's the cam position that you're missing. I think Javi Simmons is the answer to that. The only thing is, I do think the reason he was ostracised from Leverkusen was because his attitude isn't the best. I think he's a bit...
Right, that was from Leipzig.
Leipzig, sorry.
That's what
I was going to say.
I think he's a bit up himself sometimes.
But is that not just to force the move to a bigger club?
No, because I think...
He was willing to go back to PSV.
That's the thing. I think when he thinks he's outgrown the club, he doesn't start performing.
Okay.
Look at the run of games where... Leipzig were awful.
Yeah,
he didn't do anything, missed out on Europe.
Yeah, Leipzig were a weird thing
awful in Europe as well.
Right.
And I think he just had a mentality of, I'm better than this. And I think if that does happen, if you started going on a run where it doesn't work out, he starts getting annoyed. I think he could be a bit of a problem.
I don't think it would be that bad.
But I think...
Leipzig were... Sorry, mate. I'll take 2 seconds. Leipzig are falling apart, and they had a really bad season as well. I feel like it's not all on him. Like, that team is crumbling.
I'm not
and
saying
needs
it
a
is.
rebuild. If you want to see a rebuild, let us know in the
We'll
comments.
get onto that in Purple Show.
Yeah,
we'll
do.
I might want to do a special Purple Show or a rebuild Leipzig. But that's
we can get onto that. But I do just want to say one thing. Maybe Tottenham need a player who's got a little bit of an ego.
Attitude.
Is a little bit, wants to take games by the scruff of the neck.
That's what I was going to say. He's a type of player who can do that.
Kudus can do that.
I know, but
if
Javi
he's on
Simmons
form.
has done that. He's done that against England for Netherlands, where he scored that unbelievable goal.
Yeah.
But one last thing about Spurs as well is that as much as we talk about Thomas Frank and his main attribute is his flexibility and understanding what to do in certain games, he got that game wrong. The lineup was wrong. He tried to play a midfield that he played against City, where he knew that we wouldn't have the ball.
Yeah.
But then he does the same thing in a game where he wants the ball. Doesn't make sense. I think Polina or Bentancur had to drop for Bergvall. We had to dominate that game. We couldn't.
Yeah.
We constantly were playing it around the back when they had an amazing press, and there was no sort of outlet to go forward. Bergvall's biggest attribute is his progressive carries. We didn't have that in midfield.
Yeah.
Didn't have it.
I think also if you allow Bournemouth, especially Bournemouth, to attack you, they will make they'll make you pay. Look at Liverpool, we're 2-0 up. Let them, you let Bournemouth have the upper hand. They're a kind of team that they will take their chances against you, and once you're kind of 1-0 down, it's pretty difficult to come back.
The defence as well was very good for us in that game. To only lose 1-0 was...
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They created chance after chance. Yeah,
great. But it's
Vicario was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jed Spence obviously earned an England call up as well.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Deservedly so.
Nottingham Forest 0. West Ham United 3.
This is like the biggest shock of the week.
This is a
This is not a
huge
shock.
result for Graham Potter.
Let me
What do
make
you mean
this
it's not a
clear.
shock?
Let me make it's not a shock. It's a crime. You cannot lose to this West Ham team, especially in that fashion
And away.
and away.
Yeah.
Massive 3 points for Graham Potter. That is.
I'm not surprised that West Ham won away. I'm
underestimated.
surprised that Nottingham Forest lost at home.
That's what I was going to say. I think Paqueta was incredible in this game.
I thought Jared Bowen was unreal. And look what happens when I say West Ham need to go to a 4-back. I said they needed to play 4 at the back.
I don't even know why they
They
came
need to
out of it
compact
though.
the midfield.
Didn't make
Well,
sense.
they brought Mateus Fernandes in, and he had a good performance too in midfield.
Yeah, he looks good to be fair.
Yeah, looked good, and Callum Wilson getting on the score sheet as well.
Yeah.
And he did take the ball off Jared Bowen. Did anyone see
That-
him run?
that was-
Unbelievable run.
If I was a West Ham fan, I would have been shouting at the screen
would have been
because you
trying
robbed
to-
you
yeah.
robbed Bowen of one of the best goals of his career. He's like,
But
oh my god,
I'm not so fast. I know you
win is a
obviously-
win.
He's a player that you're very favouritism of Bowen. He's a player that's got the hearts and minds of all the West Ham fans. But I would say there are no strikers anymore who will be that kind of bully and like. No, I am scoring.
in
I'm
no
a striker.
world
That's
you
my
take
job.
that.
Yeah.
In no world you take
No,
that.
I'm
Even
with
if you're
Ronnie
a
on
bully
this.
of a striker,
But I
he's
like
gone
that
around four
attitude.
players. I think did he go around the keeper? I don't think he went around the keeper.
What
But
strikers
he
do that these
Took
days?
it away.
He's
from him.
1-1
They're
with
all
the keeper.
false
I'm sorry,
nines and
Harry
pressing
Kane wouldn't have
forwards
done
and all
that.
other
Luis Suarez
fucking
wouldn't have done that.
bollocks.
Lewandowski wouldn't
No,
have done that.
I
They would
hear
have
it.
left it to him
I
and
hear
let him
it.
score.
Yeah.
There's no he's given me the chance here.
No.
Yeah.
No, he has
That's
a
his goal.
chance. That's his goal.
Yeah. No, I see your point.
I hear it.
But I do get your point as well, because there are
I get the ruthlessness
strikers.
thing.
Yeah,
No,
the
I understand.
instinct where you want to hit the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's
I'm
what
sick
you
But there's a
of-
difference between instinct and stupidity. That was stupid.
Yeah.
I'm
but
sick.
it's a one.
you
It's a
let
one
him
minute.
take
It's
the
a-
goal.
We're talking about one moment.
Yeah.
Callum Wilson's not going to do that.
I'm
5-6
sick of
times
the
a season. That won't happen.
9.5s
I
and
know, but
pressing
it's just really
forwards and the
annoying.
false nines, and I'm like, no, piss off. Give me a striker whose ego and just scores goals. I'm like, all right, I'm going to spank this top corner.
Yeah.
Fuck all of you. That's what I want.
who's West Ham's next game? Sorry, just looking at
us.
this.
Us.
Is it
Us.
Tottenham?
I was
They're
gonna-
at home. We usually lose to
Because
them. away.
looking at their next run, I don't really see them picking up that many points.
All I'm saying is that Sean Dyche is licking his lips and waiting for that job to open.
He's waiting for a club. I think he
Yeah.
can go into a lot of clubs at the moment.
I'd be
it.
surprised
Yeah.
if Mourinho.
That's what
Shout
I
out
can see.
West Ham.
I can see
Mourinho
like,
could do
say
that.
if Glasner's had enough of Palace
Yeah.
or with West Ham, I can see him going to either of them, a London
Yeah.
club.
He needs money.
Oh, I'd love to see Mourinho at Palace. Sorry, just the thought of that.
That's what I said that
him
last
in,
week.
Him
I
in
said it
South
last
London, flipping him in back in Croydon, be incredible.
Oh, he just goes
that is
gets the
that is
puffer
just
jacket on underneath
That would
the,
be
underneath
a
the fridge or
dream
something.
come
Oh,
true.
Jesus.
Road
Yeah.
man Mourinho. That is what we need.
The Stormzy thing. The Stormzy thing.
That is what we need. Come on.
Yeah, Nottingham Forest though. 3-0 loss at home. I mean, 4 points from the opening 3 games. Home against Brentford, away against Crystal Palace, and at home against West Ham.
All I'm saying
Will
is
they be a little bit disappointed to come away with 4 points from those 3 games?
Absolutely. Kian was fuming, and rightfully so. As you said, I think the more shocking thing is them losing at home than West Ham winning away.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't turn up at all.
No.
I can't pick up one player at a decent game. Igor Jesus was awful. I think there was no creativity, and even when there was just no outlet.
Yeah.
And defensively, I think it's one of the worst performances I've seen defensively from them.
I saw this coming a mile off. I knew they'd drop off like this, and they're not
It's
going to be
one game.
relegated.
I wouldn't say it's drop off.
They're-
It's
they're-
one
they're-
game.
they're-
lad.
they're-
in, man.
Man United got battered in 2 different, or pretty
Well,
much
that's a whole
3
different
different
problem.
games, and
What
you
I'm
couldn't say
saying-
drop off.
They're not in threat of relegation. They're not in threat of anything like that. But they are going to drop off massively from last season. They're not going to be the same side, and people are going to be disappointed. But this is to be expected. You're never going to be able to replicate last season again. Last season was such a weird one.
What was it? How they beat? Was it Brentford? Was it like 3-0, 4 something like that?
3-1 they beat Brentford.
Yeah, that's it. Like they dispatched Brentford.
But Brentford will be dispatched.
Yeah, but I think this is just one bad game. Look, they're focusing on Europe as well. They're building a squad that has quite decent depth. They have signed half of the Botafogo team. I feel a bit bad for them, to be fair.
4 players.
Yeah, they've got a goalkeeper, centre back, left back, and striker, and then loaned the left back back to them anyway. They've got Zinchenko in left back. I think it's good cover.
Yeah, agreed.
I think they are probably going to be focusing on Europe a bit more than they would Premier League.
Yeah.
I think, look, if they were to get a Europa League run and mid to upper mid-table Premier League finish, they'd be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to knock out the Europa League, they'd be looking for Europe again. I think this is just a result that comes with that, especially around
It
deadline
doesn't
day.
come with that because it's not even come round yet.
But in terms of around deadline day, like, look, you're looking at trying to strengthen teams. I feel like, look, this is kind of one of the games where I'd say maybe this and like in January, literally you play anyone, anything can happen. And it's kind
I
of
think
one of those
come
ones
back
where-
end of winter and early spring, they will really struggle. That's just a
think?
prediction, but just because of the harassment of games they'll have.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah, I think they're not
use a lot of
used
their
to it.
subs
That's the thing.
either. They didn't
Yeah.
use a lot of their substitutes, which was a big thing. I
Is it
think
3 or 5?
Nuno Espirito Santo was talking about.
McAtee came on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
use the subs, but subbed them on very late on. Like
Yeah.
5 minutes to go when
Yeah.
you're 2-0 down. That's way too late for players to come on and make an
Yeah.
impact. I mean, Somerville did incredibly well for West Ham. Off
He was
bench.
incredible, actually,
He was really
yeah.
good
But
coming
he
back
should
from
be
injury.
starting games. I'm sorry.
he's only
that's
just come back. He's
disgrace.
only just come back.
He was out for a season pretty
Yeah.
much. I think also with Forest, there's a lot going on behind the scenes with the whole
course.
Espirito Santo stuff
Yeah, is he getting
and
sacked
the
or not?
owner.
I'll be
and-
baffled if there's not as much noise now as there was a week ago before he got battered by West Ham.
I was about to say because now
Even though he shouldn't get it anyway because he's only just lost a game anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
Surely now is it was the same thing with West Ham though. If West Ham had lost this game, you'd be going Potter's pretty much guaranteed to be sacked. This is the kind of thing where look, he's come out and said the relation between him and the owner are awful. Getting battered 3-0 at home is not going to help that. Do you know what I mean? It's
So,
really going to push on pressure.
We'll have to wait and see what happens with Nottingham Forest this season. Manchester City, 3 points from 3 Premier League games, guys. They are 6 points behind the league leaders. They've lost 2 goals to 1 against Brighton and Hove Albion. They're below Manchester United. I mean, what is going on?
These are times we only dream of. This is beautiful football because this is right. When they dropped off, was it last season or the season before? I can't remember. It's because Rodrigo got injured, and we were like, it's just one player. Once he's back, they'll be fine. They've spent money and they've revamped their team, and this is the thing with Pep. Is he an all-timer manager? Can he rebuild a team? This is him rebuilding a team.
He has rebuilt a team. The
I was
treble
gonna
team is
say-
rebuilt.
Yeah.
That wasn't him though.
It was.
It literally
It very much was.
No, it was him.
He kind of came to. No, I don't disagree with that one. But
So Centurions and Treble were 2 same teams.
That's that, yeah.
so this is him rebuilding this team, and it's not fucking working, and it's beautiful.
Well, I mean, they were good for 60 minutes of that game. They were by far the better team
But
against
I
Brighton
wouldn't
for
say they
60
were ever
minutes.
bad in the game. I think Brighton just played better in the second
I think
kind
it's
of half
growing
of that
pains,
game.
to be
Yeah.
honest. I think they'll have like a couple of dodgy results early
Yeah.
on. I think they'll find their stride later on. I
Yeah.
don't think this is
I think-
sort of defining the season for them.
Yeah, you look at, as I said, any team, like what was it? Tottenham lost, was it Bournemouth? We just said it. It's one of those things where, look,
It'll happen.
you were a better team. It happens.
Also, I think they've
You
got a
look
bad
at-
record against Brighton away anyway.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
last season, the same thing happened. They scored early on, second half, conceded
But-
2 goals and lost
Yeah.
the game.
I think-
Same thing.
I think it's just, it must be so disappointing from a Manchester City point of view because you go to the Amex, you dominate that first half, really. They were all over them. And then 15 minutes into the second half, they're looking really good against City. And then Brighton make 4 changes.
Yeah.
And Fabian Herzler's substitutions changed the game completely as well. They just looked totally different team. James Milner, of course, scoring the equaliser from a penalty. And then Brian Gruder late on,
Yeah.
taking it around the goal.
James Milner took the number. Did he already have the 20 shirt? or is he
took
taking
the
it
number
on?
20
He
shirt.
took it,
That's what I
yeah.
No,
thought.
he
Yeah,
changed.
Jota.
He wasn't number
That's what I'm
7, I
saying.
think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he took the number 20 shirt. Massive
That was
respect
nice.
to him. Yeah, really nice tribute.
Can we talk about the one Manchester
Second
player
oldest
that
goal
I
scorer
am-
as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Who's actually? Who's the oldest?
Is it Sheringham?
Yeah, and he's also the second youngest goal scorer, and James
Of course
Ward's the
he
younger
is, isn't
one.
he?
Yeah.
So that's a crazy stat.
That's
Yeah.
bad. The one Man City player that I am slightly feeling sorry for at this point is James Trafford, because he's now going to get dropped for
Yeah,
Donnarumma.
To be fair, though, in the Premier
think
League, it's
you-
cutthroat, and he had 3 games where he's got to say, I'm the number one, I'm going to keep
Yeah,
clean sheets, I'm
I
not
mean,
going to make
surely-
mistakes.
surely
the
look
He
game
at
made a
against
mistake.
Tottenham-
I think he made a mistake in every game.
Yeah.
Well,
Surely
the Brighton
looking
one as
at...
well, do you think?
Was there not a mistake leading up to it?
I don't
With one of
think
the
so.
It
goals?
wasn't. I don't think
There
there
was-
was.
it.
I think it was more the
I can't
the
lie, I thought
mistake
he had
at
a-
I could be
Tottenham
wrong
was the
'cause I didn't
issue.
watch it.
No, it's fair enough. I thought
was
he had
a
an
mistake
excellent
at
game.
He should have gone to Newcastle. He thought he got sold a lie by Man City that he was going to be the starter, and then it went actually now.
I think even with Edison, he probably I wouldn't say he would have started after those.
Well, he did. He
Yeah,
did.
That's the point. After those 2 games, I think this game they would have probably put Edison back in goal anyway. Edison, I think they would have put him back in goal. I think the fact is, like, look, realistically, you're at Man City. They're bringing in Donnarumma. You're going to accept being a backup.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's going to accept it. I don't see why he doesn't. I would say he probably, even just his transfer alone, probably
There's
gets
no
him
guarantee
into the England look
either,
up.
because Ortega.
He's better than Ortega.
He's better
Well,
than Ortega.
that's
I
the
think
thing.
like Ortega.
Ortega
no
hasn't
why.
started the season, Trafford has. So
Yeah,
Trafford
exactly.
would be the same.
He'll be.
And
he'll-
Edison, although he was pushing for the move, he was still in the squad.
Oh, exactly.
You know, so
Trafford will be a top goalkeeper now. Probably end up playing.
You also got to remember that the other windows outside the top 5 haven't finished yet. And
Exactly.
You've still got the Saudi League and the Turkish League.
yeah.
Ortega might just move
I
to
think
Saudi.
Ortega will probably leave.
If I were Trafford, I'd be pissed and I'd be in the office
Well,
going,
yeah,
give me
you'd
a
be
loan.
frustrated, but you
Give me
wouldn't.
a
No, but
loan.
he'd have to get a loan in January. He's not going to go to another club now.
Unless he went to
Yeah.
Turkey or Saudi.
No,
Which
but
wouldn't get him
he
in
just-
an England team for the World Cup.
Exactly.
So he'd have to leave on loan in January.
But he's not going to get
he's-
in the England team for the World Cup if he's at City.
I think
not playing.
he has a better chance than he does trying to.
No, but if he plays in all the Champions League games and the Cup games, he's got more of a chance there than
Is
he
he going
does
to do
playing
that?
all
They're
the
going to
Turkish
play
games.
Donnarumma, aren't they?
Look, as soon as you're a man, no.
League Cup, maybe.
There could be
They've
maybe,
rotated a
yeah,
lot, and Pep
rotation.
last 2-3 years has played Ortega in all the Cup games.
Exactly.
So Trafford could be the same.
Ortega is a cup goalkeeper. I think
There
he'll
will
leave.
most certainly be some opportunities. Let's move on to the half-4 kickoff. Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. A Dominic Szoboszlai screamer. Oh my word!
Was
What a
it
goal.
right? Was he playing right back?
He was playing right
Yeah.
back, and he was unreal.
Amazing.
it was a
There was
horrible-
flashes of Trent in that game. There was a long ball over to
Yeah.
60 yards, yeah. Unreal
He was
ball.
good. I think it was just a poor game. I think both.
Oh, the first 60 minutes,
teams-
I'm sorry, it was dreadful.
I was going to say it had looking of one of the worst games in football history.
I had
It
my
was shit.
my sister was around with my nephews, and they're all Arsenal, and honestly, they couldn't watch it either. I was
It was
falling
awful.
asleep. I think I fell asleep at half time and then woke up as the game started again for second half. Honestly, it was oh my word.
Yeah, both
It's-
teams are just trying to cancel each other.
I was going to say it's one of those teams where, like, look, you look at it and go, look, both teams are afraid of the other team going out and attacking.
Yeah.
So they were both so defensive,
Ultra defensive.
that the game had 0-0 written all over it until something like that happened.
Yeah.
Like, that was the only way someone was going to score, because
I-
it was a shocking game.
I'm starting to think that games between the big six
They're going to be shit.
Games
are
that
going
involve
to be
Arsenal.
shit. Yeah, it's
I think Big Six. I
It's
think,
not that game wasn't Arsenal's fault, but
No.
it's a common theme with Arsenal
Well,
against big six that they're
that's the
1-0.
thing.
Yeah, it's the City games, isn't it, as well? When Arsenal played City a lot.
It was 1-1,
Even at the Emirates
1-0.
or
Yeah.
at the
it was it's
Etihad.
only the last one that was
Yeah.
5-1 that was different.
The City Arsenal games were Arsenal's fault for being pragmatic, but they also thought that was the right decision. At the time, it probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But against Liverpool, it was a bit of both.
But I think
Yeah.
this is the thing. I think both teams were afraid defensively, which you can kind of understand. But at the same time, it's one of those ones where you do in this kind of game, you do kind of just want someone to go out and like just take the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think Arsenal are a bit unlucky to have a player get injured in 5 minutes. Saliba to come off in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
was a bit annoying. I think.
well, they do now have two quality lefts.
I think Mosquera, who came in, was incredible.
And
I
Mosquera-
think
they've got three.
he did really well against
Ekitike.
They've got
Ekitike.
three of the fuckers.
I
They've
think-
got Saliba, they've got Mosquera, they've got Hinkamp, and they've got Calafiori, who can all play
Two
left
of which
centre
will
back.
probably be the left back.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
in Capilla can be left.
Mate, their
Arsenal's
defensive-
defence
yeah.
annoys the hell out of me because they're not.
But also, I was going to say, Timber can play there.
Because
White
it's good.
Timber can play there. White can play there. Anyone can play there, basically. But I think the issue is, I think, let's just take all the attacking players on the pitch at that moment. Madueke had a decent game.
I thought he was Arsenal's best player.
Exactly. But then other than maybe him, I can't really pick out another attacker that actually looked decent.
Eze, when he came on, was really like stale as well.
Eze looked like he
got
hadn't
quite a
played
few
any
times.
football.
He had a one-on-one
Yeah.
as well, and bottled that.
He looked like he
Would
hadn't
you
played any football.
Would you say that Arteta is similar to Pep in that he does run a system and he wants system
Of
players?
course.
Yeah.
Well, he's Pep inspired,
But-
isn't
Well,
he?
that's
Yeah.
what I was.
I think from this game,
What is- that-
Not
that is-
helping. You could have said
he was
yes.
literally.
Yes, I didn't say yes.
literally assistant. I think it was mismanaged from Arteta. I think
Yeah.
Martinelli shouldn't have started. I think Eze
He has to start that game.
he needs to start.
Has to start
I think
that game.
look, either Martinelli gets dropped for Eze or Marino gets dropped. Because I
Yeah.
think the midfield for
Yeah.
Arsenal was way too defensive.
I
Playing
think-
I
Marino,
agree.
Rice, and Zubamendi is too defensive.
Yep.
Having Eze brings chance creation,
Yeah, you need to tell
which
that.
will help with someone like Gyökeres up front, with Martinelli.
But do you not want Eze
with-
in the left half space where he plays for Palace?
I think the fact that
No, but he
Odegaard
could
was
do
missing.
that if he was in the 10.
Exactly.
You could put Rice as a right 8, even though he's barely ever done that and he's not occupied that space
Yeah.
before. But you can give him a go at least.
But it's exactly. You could put. You
But
could,
surely
put Eze on the
Martinelli's
left.
going to be driving into that space. Surely you want Eze to be
Well,
doing that.
But what you could do is push him
Yeah.
into Cam, put Eze into Cam, and say to him interchange with Martinelli because they can both do that.
I saw a lot of fans online not happy with Gabriel Martinelli's performance, and
But I don't think he was that bad.
No,
There was one point in the first half, I think, where he had to release the ball and
Yeah.
kept dribbling.
Yeah,
That
I think,
was-
I think he does
because he's
over
a talented
dribble.
player. There's talent in
Yeah.
there. We just
He
need to
wouldn't
see it
lift
on a
his head
consistent
up
basis.
off the ball, though.
Yeah.
He didn't get his head up.
I think the issue is I think Arteta's overmanaged him. That's the problem. If you look at when he first came on at Arsenal, he was very much able
Raw.
to be expressive, and yeah, as you said, he was raw. He was dribbling past players.
Yeah.
I think now he's been trained into driving the ball to the byline and crossing it in.
Right.
Which, look, it just doesn't really work for him. You can tell that he doesn't want to do that.
For me, he's an inverted winger that's playing winger. That's
my point.
opinion.
My point is he wants to drive in and shoot.
Yeah.
But he's being told by a system to play out wide and cross it in. The issue is Arsenal have no one who gets in the box.
Yeah.
So the amount of times he goes out wide, puts a cross in, that doesn't meet anyone because nobody's there.
Yeah.
And the problem is Gyökeres now likes to go out wide.
Right.
Nobody's interchanging.
Well, no,
Yeah, so if he
Gyökeres
goes
wants to
out
go
wide,
into the
someone's
left
got
side.
front.
If Gyökeres wants to pull out to the left side, that gives Martinelli a license.
That's my
to go
point.
But
inside.
he's not doing that.
But I think Martinelli.
Yeah, I know he's not, but
I think
good.
I think now Eze's come in. I think Martinelli should be trained into a striker.
I'm
I think
not a striker.
That's a good idea.
I think he played better down
That's
the wing.
that's what Jurgen Klopp saw Martinelli as
That's
when we
that's
played.
Yeah, a lot of people would have said that as well.
Play him down the middle as a cam or a striker or something in between. I think he'd be perfect there.
Could I make a really bold suggestion?
I think
Yeah.
alone.
No, not about Martinelli, about Arsenal.
Clip editors, get ready.
Bear with me here. I think this team is perfectly suited to either be managed by or play the same system as Amorim. Play a 3 at the back. You've got 2 very good left-sided centre-backs. You can play wingers on
think
the
you
wide
switch them out.
space.
No, they've
Plays-
not got the wing backs for that.
Madueke and Saka could definitely do that.
Saka can't do wing back.
Saka can do it. He's done it before for England.
Playing Saka at wing back.
No,
No, but
Doing
bear
this
with me. You
again.
can then play 2 10s with
No,
Eze and then
man.
one other. And then
Look at
Gyökeres up
Ronnie's
front.
face. He don't want to hear
I
this.
reckon it could be perfect.
What I would say,
No.
what I would say is, I think Arteta has this season. He's going to get the sack. If Arsenal don't win anything this
But
season, I think he's gone.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think someone like Mourinho could possibly do well in this. I feel like he's.
Surely
Mourinho wouldn't
not.
go to Arsenal.
That's my point. But I think in terms of the system they're playing, I don't think he's going to go at all.
Anyway.
But I think in terms
Imagine
of
a manager
looking
managing
at-
Arsenal, Tottenham,
Yeah,
and
no
Chelsea.
chance.
Last note on Liverpool.
Last night, go on.
I was very impressed by Kanai's performance against Gyökeres.
Yes,
he bullied,
boo,
he
what a
bullied,
performance.
Can
bullied Gyökeres.
I'd like to make one last point on top of that last point. De Ligt did the same thing. Gyökeres has not looked good against centre backs this season. He's not looked good
We
so far.
scored 2 goals against Leeds, to be
I was going to
Leeds,
say.
Leeds
I
don't
know.
count. Leeds
I
don't
think a
count.
lot of managers have decided with the bigger strikers, let's just man mark them because Romero's done it against
Yeah.
Haaland.
I was
Ligt
gonna
did it
say.
against Gyökeres, and
Now-
so did
With these
Konate.
bullish kind of strikers, if you man mark them, there's not much they can do.
Yeah.
I would say I was very disappointed with Wirtz again.
You think, really? I thought that was his best
He was
game for us.
better in the second half. He had a
No,
poor first
don't-
half.
don't get me
Second
wrong.
half,
No,
second
I
half was
still
much
thought
better.
he
I was
was
going to take him out of my
No,
phone.
there was
Don't get me
a
wrong.
stat. There was a stats for his first half was
No,
bad.
don't get me wrong. This is the best game he's had for Liverpool. But
Yeah.
that's saying something because I still don't think he did anything.
Right.
In the last
He
2
wasn't
games
great.
before, I think he was awful.
But I
I think
still-
he's been the one player that I thought would step up the most that hasn't.
Right.
That's
I think
the
give
thing.
him Isak up front and Ekatika on the left, he'll look a lot better.
I was going to say that now, though. I think he'll look so much better with Isak because I think Isak will occupy defenders. Two centre backs will be focused on him. And what Wirtz did at Bayern Leverkusen was he used the space that was created, which I think with Isak coming in will create that space.
What I think changes is Gakpo will play is normally more of a touchline winger,
Right.
and Wirtz. If he's playing at Gakpo, it becomes a side pass. Whereas Ekatika on the left will be much more advanced, and
I was
he
going to say,
becomes a
who do you think gets
a
dropped?
progressive
Then?
pass.
So I think
Gakpo.
Hakpo gets dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
For Ekitike.
to begin with, I think.
For Ekitike.
for-
No, maybe not
I-
actually.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
Gakpo doesn't impress, then it becomes
I think to begin with, Ekitike will get dropped only because Gakpo's known
But that's so-
by the manager.
So
I
are we
didn't-
talking? So are we talking for the first game after the international break? You think he goes
We're not
straight
even-
in?
back.
It probably is Gakpo actually.
I wouldn't say Isak goes straight into that.
No, I think Isak
Who
is
have
on
you
the
got?
bench.
But he has 2 weeks.
I think Isak's on the bench first game. I think Isak
Oh,
has
so-
to
okay.
earn his place.
Okay, so
in-
when
No,
Isak
I think he
eventually
doesn't
walk
comes
straight
in,
into the team.
If he does wear an international
Doesn't-
break and starts
Wirtz
scoring 3 or 4
Wirtz done the
goals,
same thing. He walked into the team. I think Isak does the
But
same.
Florian Wirtz walked straight into the team because he had a whole pre-season. This man's not had a pre-season at all.
but I think
I
if he-
understand what Lloyd is saying.
No,
when
but
when
he's,
he
needs-
also,
he
mentions
needs
he's about to go into an international break
If
for
he-
Sweden. He'll
he
play
needs to
90
build
minutes for
himself
2
up.
games. He will have the fitness.
yeah, but he won't go ahead and start straight away.
I think
Okay,
if he
I'm gonna
puts
do
in
that now.
5
Can I
goals
ask a
in
quick
the
question actually? Because I actually
game.
don't know the answer. What shirt number is Isak wearing?
Number
9.
No.
He has got number 9.
Number 9.
One thing
Darwin's
I'm,
his left.
I was going to say, one thing I'm
Darwin
thinking
left.
is,
Oh, yeah, of course.
look, if he goes into this international break, starts scoring and
Yeah.
plays incredibly, I think he walks into Liverpool's team.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
And I think it's Ekitike who gets dropped
Can I-
just because...
we'll see.
Can I
I
take
think
us
he'll
on a
be in
very, very
favour.
small tangent?
Right,
I promise
yeah,
to be quick.
okay.
Have you guys seen the AI generated image of Peter Crouch and I forget the other person's name, the little and large combo, and it's Wolf and the guy
What,
that
Defoe?
Yeah, that's it.
I've not seen
And
it.
it's the face of the guy from Newcastle and Visser. Like little large.
Voltamada.
Voltamada.
Right,
Yeah, it's
right.
going to be Newcastle going to play 4-4-2. They're going to have a little large combo up front. It's going to be so Premier League. I'm going to love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean that 4-4-2 really worked out for Newcastle, didn't it?
I think it's the only thing they can do.
Hey,
Really went well.
Wolfenden and what's his name? And
Visser.
Visser. I'm looking forward. They're going to be those.
90 million on him is crazy,
Anyway,
though.
we've got to move on. I'd love to talk about Liverpool. 3 wins from 3. I'm absolutely buzzing with it, despite us not playing well in any of the 3 matches, to be totally honest. But we picked up 9 points, so we'll take it. Quickly, just going to speak about a couple of the other matches because we need to rush through.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we skip?
Aston Villa 0, Crystal
Things
Palace
every
3.
game's a talk about
massive,
game.
Yeah, massive
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
points.
It's been a good week.
Aston Villa were awful. Sorry.
Yeah.
A, Aston Villa were awful. B, Gahey, what a goal.
Yeah.
And C, Crystal Palace look really good.
They need to play actual wingers, and that will happen now. They've brought in
Yeah.
people like Harvey Elliott and Jadon Sancho have come in. Who else came in? There was another winger. Doesn't
Guess-
matter. There is another one.
Yeah, Gesson came in earlier.
No, there's another
Yeah.
one. There was
There's
another.
one, isn't
There
there?
was another
They
one.
brought in 4 wingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Remember?
they've been playing John McGinn out there, which is baffling.
Doesn't make
He played
sense.
left mid for multiple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, which doesn't work clearly. So
Well,
No, they did really well with him in left mid.
But
I want him in the middle of the
Leon
park,
Bailey's
but-
gone on loan.
Yeah.
What I would say, sorry, just one thing is I feel so bad for Gay after scoring
I
in what he thought was his
know,
last
man.
game. The goal he scored was incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
Celebrating, saying goodbye, just for the transfer to
But
fall.
Oli Gaz did say he'd walk if Gay
Exactly.
goes.
Yeah. When have you ever seen
And-
a manager threaten to walk?
He
I
is
think he has
the
the
best
right,
defender.
but I think he has the right.
You
If-
use
if
every
pla-
key player in a summer window.
But look, I think if players have the right to say I'm not playing or I'm not training, I think managers have the right to go I'm going to walk if a player gets sold.
Yeah,
I agree.
I completely agree with that.
I find
Yeah.
it interesting that, like, obviously Glasner's only got 1 year left on his deal as well at the moment.
he,
so
I
he's
don't
not
think
necessarily.
he renews. I don't
No.
think he renews.
Oh,
No,
really?
I think
don't
he'll look for a better
necessarily.
job.
So necessarily, he's not committed to the football club.
I'm-
Yet he's expecting one of his players.
I'm
to be
very
committed to the football
confident.
club.
I'm very confident Company will foul at Bayern Munich and he goes Bayern.
Right. Okay.
Either that or
No, but he's German anyway. It would make sense.
I think that.
or he ends up at a powerhouse in a league such as like an Ajax level, like
Yeah.
or a Sporting level. Like
He's
someone's
better than
gonna
Ajax.
dominate.
Sorry,
that.
but he's better than
yeah.
Ajax.
I think the other thing as well is Gay's now walking as well. And then
Oh, yeah,
he's
in
got
the
a year
contract.
left.
Yeah,
He's
he did.
going.
Well, he's gone.
That was
anyway.
always going to
I
happen.
think-
They just decided do we want money
I
or
think we'll
not.
go straight back in for him in January anyway.
I think
That's
he'll.
what
I think he'll
they'll
go
do.
to Europe. I think he'll go
Igor
Europe.
has pissed off the entirety of Merseyside. I think with that one.
I don't.
I don't blame Igor for
Not Everton.
No, exactly.
There'll be some gammons out there.
No,
who
I know
definitely
because
do.
there will be, but like he's a Brighton player. Their main rivals are Crystal Palace.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
obviously
No,
he's not going to be
It's the
getting a lot
weakest
of
He's gone back to
rivalry.
Brighton now. And
Yeah.
they're probably
No,
just like,
no.
we don't want you anymore.
You wanted to go there,
You can
man.
piss off
No,
now.
whoa,
At
he
least he's
went to
getting
West
love
Ham.
from one team.
No, but Palace were in for him and he was
Exactly.
willing to
Yeah,
go.
so he's
Yeah,
gone to West
I know.
Ham. Right,
But,
anyway.
yeah, he's got to West Ham now on loan.
Remaining of the games, I'm just going to run through them quickly. Sunderland ended up winning 2-1 against Brentford, 2 wins from 3.
Staying
to 10.
up.
Leeds
Brentford are
United
awful.
0, Newcastle United 0 as
That's
well.
huge.
Newcastle
Awful.
not
Big result for Leeds. Well
scoring
done,
a
Leeds.
goal.
Yeah.
These new two strikers will
Yeah.
help them though.
Let's get into predictions. So,
Yes.
last week, Ronnie and Kian got a total of 2 points. Henry got 3 and I got 4. So the standings at the minute, Kian is on 10. Ronnie is on 12. I'm on 13. And then Henry is top on 14 points. So
Only thing he's good
there's
at is
not
guessing.
a massive amount
Yes.
in it.
You can tell.
As we've got 6 games
So-
here. First of all, Arsenal against Nottingham Forest.
Kian's put 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0 Arsenal.
I think it's an Arsenal win.
Yeah.
I think 3-1 because they'll want a win after Liverpool.
Yeah.
I don't see Arsenal. I see Arsenal wanting the clean sheet more than the more goals, so I'm going to stick with 2-0, same as Kian.
2-0. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to go 3-1 to the Gunners. Everton against Aston Villa. Aston Villa not having the greatest start to the season.
This screams Everton win because they're at Goodison Park and Villa are doing terrible, which is exactly why I'm saying 1-0 Villa.
Got down 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton.
As the predicting messiah that I am,
Yeah.
I am Moses. I have my commandments.
By 1 point.
Yeah, there's not a lot in it at the minute. Go on.
Yeah, but I'm still top.
Right,
So there
yes,
you go.
yeah,
Just go on and say it, man.
3-0 to Everton.
3-0 to Everton.
I reckon
It is so poised for Everton to
Yeah.
win. Everton to win.
Yeah.
I just went the other way.
Yeah.
I'm going 1-1 draw. Bournemouth against Brighton.
Ooh.
I disagree with Kian here. Kian's gone 1-0 Bournemouth. I think it's going to be 1. I would say personally 1-1.
Okay.
But Kian's gone
3-2
1-0
Brighton.
Bournemouth.
3-2 Brighton.
I think
Yeah.
there's goals in that game.
There is goals. Yeah.
Deuces. 2 apiece.
2-2. I'm going to go
Never do that again.
for...
Sorry, that was bad.
I'm going to go for 2-1 Bournemouth. West Ham versus Tottenham.
2-0 West Ham. Fuck it.
No, but we're terrible against them at
I was gonna-
London Stadium. We don't win there.
Yeah.
Kian's gone 3-1 to Tottenham.
Okay.
2-1 Spurs, just back your team.
I'm going 1-1. I reckon it'll be a draw.
It probably will be a draw. I can see it
Yeah.
being a draw. That's what I would actually predict.
Brentford against Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea.
As much as I want Brentford to win.
Yeah, Kian's gone
Yeah,
2-1.
Brentford.
Kian's gone
Outside of
2-1.
Wolves, Brentford the other team that I'm like really worried about.
Yeah.
Kian's gone 2-1. 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm 2 on Chelsea as well.
I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. Manchester City versus Manchester United.
Oh, wait, that's coming round. Oh, that's
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
actually, because TikTok coming soon.
Kian's gone 2-1 City. I would probably say 3-0 City.
Yeah.
But Kian's gone 2-1.
He's gone 2-1.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Henry?
This screams, again, big six, goals don't happen, it will be a close game.
I only think that because you're going to play defensive in this game.
Yeah.
We'll play Casemiro.
You're going to do the same thing Arsenal did to Liverpool.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
pulling
much.
it now. And I think they'll still concede.
You'll be very
Yeah.
pragmatic in this game.
I feel like a 1-1's coming.
1-1.
I think
could
a
be.
1-1's coming.
Have you said yours yet, Ronnie?
No, I don't think it's going to be anything above 2 goals.
Okay.
1-0 City.
Cool. I'm going 2-1 City. So those are the predictions. We're not going to run through our each individual team for fantasy, but this is the current scorelines for game week 3. Kian, 17th with 30 points. Lachlan was 16th with 33. Cal, 15th with 35. Matt and Dan were tied in 13th with 42. Lenny in 12th, 43. Liam Helen got 45. Rhys and Liam McKenna-May both in 9th with 49. Ronnie and Shannon were tied 7th with 50. Jake was in 6th with 53. Tom in 5th with 54. Ethan in 4th with 57. And then I was tied 2nd with Ellie on 58. And Henry with the most points this week with 59. But it is FPL forfeits time. I can't wait for that.
That's all I'm waiting to hear. I did not give a toss
Come
about the rest of the
I
goals.
didn't pay attention.
So, the overall leaderboards, we're doing this month by month, of course, as you all know. So, this is the scores for the month of August. Bottom of the table, we've got 3 people on the same points, which means that 3 people have to do the forfeit. 125 points apiece for Kian, Matt, and Lachlan. Rhys just escaping it by 4 points. And then there was a massive jump up to 13th with Shannon on 151.
Shannon's dropped down to 13th.
Yeah, but the thing is, 4th to 13th is only split by 10 points. So that is
Jesus
how close it is.
It's tighter than I'm not
And
going to
then
be that joke.
in 3rd place, Dan's on 180, Ethan's on 183, and Ellie has had a wonderful start. Congratulations, Ellie. You've won the month of August, 194 points. So
Well done.
congratulations.
Well done.
But of course, that will all technically reset for September.
Are we
That's
resetting or are we
reset.
just going to keep going?
We got,
The monthly forfeits.
Yeah.
For the
The
forfeits,
overall points.
The overall
Forfeits,
points will stay
they're
the same, but
right, okay,
for
cool.
the forfeits per month, because
Yeah.
on the
and
website...
I have to say, you guys are in for a treat for the end of season forfeit. We've got a great idea
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
We won't reveal it, but we've got a great idea
we
coming.
will keep that all to ourselves, but I think that's a perfect way to
wrap it up.
round off this episode of The Gold Show here on the Blue Podcast Network. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time we upload. We're also on Spotify and Apple Music as well. Thank you all so much. We'll see you for the next one.